Today we are going to study the saving function. Saving function is also known as the propensity to save. Now this is on page number 7.9 of Sandeep Garg. I don't know if it is the same page number. You can just check. We're going in continuation to the chapter. Now saving function means the functional relationship between saving and income. Income here means at a macro level, but obviously national income. Now saving function is also denoted as S is equal to F function of Y, right? Now, in order to understand this a little ahead, don't forget this is connected to the consumption function. You cannot understand the saving function without the consumption function. Now, let us understand the different levels of saving at different levels of income. Now, we've already understood what is this at income level being 0. If your consumption is 40, खाना तो है ही है, लेकिन where is this consumption expenditure coming from? It is coming from your past savings. That means तुम्हारी savings कम हो रही है. कितनी कम हो रही है? By 40. Equivalent amount to how much you have spent with no income. जब savings कम हो रही है, इस concept को कहते हैं dis-savings. Dis-savings मतलब to the extent of 40, your savings have become negative. Let us assume your income has increased from 0 to 100. But obviously your consumption also going to increase. Let's say it has increased by 80. So your consumption now is 120. If your consumption is 120, your income is only 100. So तुम 20 rupees क्या करोगे? Either you borrow or either again you go back to your banking system or your savings and you withdraw 20. So तुम्हारे dis savings are 20. Now why is it that the dis savings have decreased? It is because the income level has increased. Then let's say your income has gone up to 200 and your consumption is again 200 because you have increased by 80. Now your consumption is at par to your income, which means your savings are 0. You are consuming as much as you are earning, because of which you're not able to save. If your income increases to 300, your consumption increases by 80 only. What happens to your savings? Now you begin to have positive savings. So the logic is very clear, children. If we have to see this relationship on a diagram, we have the saving function this side and we have the income this side, right? Now we assume this particular x axis. Continuing with the explanation, now let us understand three things. One, when your savings are negative, you can see S starts from here. This S is nothing but minus autonomous consumption. Why is it beginning from this point S? Because you have a minus 40. This minus 40 is that much as you remove from your savings. When it goes on decreasing, can you see this colored zone? This colored zone is the dis savings. Your dis savings go on decreasing. A point comes when you're at 200 level of income, when your income is equal to your consumption. Hence your savings are 0. This point is called the break-even point. Break-even basically here means that you are earning as much as you are spending, or rather vice versa, you're spending as much as you are earning. If you are earning anything beyond 200, your consumption will increase, but less than that, because of which what happens to your savings? It is in the positive zone. So your savings also begin to increase, but they increase in the positive zone. If you look onto the page, if you turn the page and look onto the next page, it's very clearly given here. The three observations are given as I told you. The three observations are: one, what happens to the saving curve. The saving curve is the upward sloping curve. Why? Because जैसे से income बढ़ेगी, savings भी बढ़ेंगे. Second is the slope of the saving curve is always positive. Third, break-even point is always observed when S is equal to 0, when consumption is equal to income. And then after that point, you always have saving as positive. So तुमने basically तीन चीजें याद रखनी है. One, what happens before break-even, what happens at break-even, and what happens after break-even point. The next topic we're going to do related to savings is average propensity to save. What do you understand by average propensity to save? It is the ratio of saving is to income. If my income is 100 और उसमें से मैं अगर 20 रुपए सेव कर रही हूँ, so what is my ratio of saving is to income? It is 20 by 100. So the formula goes APS is equal to S upon Y. See, we are going with the same example right from the beginning. If you observe very carefully, the same schedule we are taking. अब इसी schedule में देखो हमने क्या देखा है? ये 0 है, ये 100 है, 200 है, 300 एंड 400. ये हम ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर चुके हैं. -40, -20 एंड सो ऑन. In the initial, it is nothing. We put a dash, a hyphen, it's infinity. Then -20 upon 100, that is -0.2. Now, why is APS minus? हमेशा APS माइनस तब होगा जब तुम्हारी सेविंग्स नेगेटिव होगी. सेविंग्स नेगेटिव कब होती है? जब तुम्हारी कंजम्पशन इनकम से ज्यादा होती है. बिकॉज द अंडरलाइन फॉर्मूला इज y इज इक्वल टू C प्लस S. देन योर सेविंग्स आर जीरो. जीरो क्यों है? क्योंकि तुम्हारी यहाँ योर APS इज जीरो बिकॉज योर सेविंग्स आर जीरो. 0 upon 200 is 0. As your income increases, remember your savings become positive and they also go on increasing. Why is it that they are becoming positive? Because if you observe here, your savings are positive. बच्चे जो न्यूमरेटर में आएगा वही इफेक्ट तुम्हारे रेशियो पर पड़ेगा. If you look at the next table on page number 7.1 according to my book, it's very, very important. Why? Because here again you can get it as true and false. You can get it as probably MCQs. You can be asked for reasoning. Now what is this? APS can never be one. Sorry, APS can never be one or more than one. Why it can never be one? क्यों? क्योंकि सेविंग्स सारी सेव नहीं कर सकते तुम्हें कुछ ना कुछ खर्चा करना ही है. Because C can never be zero. APS can never be more than one. Why it cannot be more than one? Because consumption तो होनी है. APS can be zero. क्यों? क्योंकि जितना कमा रहे हो उतना खर्च कर रहे हो. It is at break even point. APS can be negative. Definitely when consumption is greater than income, you're using your savings. So they are dis-savings. APS rises with increase in income because मैंने तुम्हें बताया break even point के बाद MPS. Again, what is M? Marginal. Marginal propensity to save. It means it is the ratio, it refers to the ratio of change in saving due to change in income. जैसे जैसे तुम्हारी income बढ़ेगी, there is definitely going to be a change in your savings. Let us say my income was 100 and I was saving 30. Now my income is 200 and I'm saving probably 80. So what is my change in savings? It's 80 minus 30, which is 50. What is my change in income? 200 minus 100, which is 100. So 50 upon 100 means 0.5. इसका मतलब है जब मेरी इनकम 100 रुपीज बढ़ रही है, मैं कितना सेव कर रही हूँ? 50% ऑफ दैट इनकम आई एम सेविंग. ये देखो वही एग्जांपल हम कंटिन्यू कर रहे हैं. 100 है तुम्हारी इनकम, -20 ले रहे हो सेविंग्स. What is the change in savings? जब इनकम 100 से 200 होगी, what is the change in saving here? 20. 0 minus of 20 is 20. How much has your income increased? 100. So 20 upon 100 is 0.20. So 0.20 refers to the percentage of saving to the increase in the income. So 20% of the increased income you are saving. Let's understand some important facts about MPS. MPS can again vary between 0 to 1. When is MPS 1? MPS is 1 कि जितना तुम्हारी इनकम बढ़ गई है. आई एम नॉट सेइंग जितना तुम कमा रहे हो, जितना तुम्हारी इनकम बढ़ गई है, उस बढ़ी हुई इनकम से तुमने कोई भी खर्चा नहीं किया, तुमने सारे के सारे बढ़ी हुई इनकम को सेव कर लिया. Then your MPS is 1. But when is MPS 0? MPS is 0 जब जितनी तुम्हारी इनकम बढ़ी वो सारी इनकम तुमने खर्च कर दी. मेरी इनकम 100 रुपए बढ़ गई, मैंने 100 रुपये ही खर्चा कर दिया, मतलब मैंने कुछ एक्स्ट्रा सेव नहीं किया. Then my MPS is going to be 0. Children, below that it's very clear and vividly given to you the difference between APS and MPS. It's very important for you to do this these differences because you can expect it for 3 to 4 marks. I would always appreciate if you people can make running notes of your own with whatever I'm saying and mark the way I have marked in the book. I don't think there can be anything better. Good morning everybody. Today we're going to understand a few basic concepts which are very important for the numerical part and in order to understand the relationship between the concepts we've understood. Now there is a relationship between APC and APS. We all know what is APC and what is APS. As we all know, y is equal to c plus s. Mathematically dividing both the sides by y, you get y upon y is equal to c upon y plus s upon y. If you see y upon y is just 1, and if you see c upon y, it is APC, and then you add APS to it. So basically the underlying formula is that APC plus APS is equal to 1. It's but obvious, children. If your average income is 100, and from that 100, if your income is 100 and out of that 100 if you're spending 80, so your APC has to be 0.8. Obviously what is left is your APS, which is 0.2. So you can otherwise mathematically solve APC and APS also. The second important relation for you to understand is the relationship between MPC and MPS. In the similar way, you know what is M? I already told you M means marginal. So whenever there is a change in income, there has to be a change in consumption, there has to be a change in saving. You may say that ma'am, there is no change in consumption, 0. So koi baat nahi, the entire income what you have, it has increased is saved. So ye 1 ho jayega. 1 plus 0 is again 1. Then dividing both sides by delta y mathematically, delta y upon delta y is equal to delta y upon delta c upon delta y plus delta s upon delta y. So 1 is equal to MPC plus MPS. It is again understandable. अगर आपकी income 100 रुपया बढ़ गई है, increased, then your spending is increased by 80. So what will happen to your increased saving? It is going to be 20. So if 1 is equal to MPC plus MPS, you can individually find out what is MPC and what is MPS. Now we are going to understand two very important derivations. One, we are going to derive the saving function from the consumption function in the form of an equation. And the next topic I am going to be telling you how to derive the saving curve from the consumption curve. I told you in the very first day when I started this topic of consumption that y is equal to c plus s. You cannot derive saving without knowing how much you have spent. So the equation for the consumption function is c is equal to autonomous c plus by. We all know what is c, consumption, which can never be 0 because of the existence of autonomous consumption. What is autonomous consumption? Consumption at 0 level of income. What is b? B is the change in consumption due to change in income. Obviously this is into the national income. So this entire thing is the percentage of spending you're doing due to the increase in the income. If you have, I've given you an example and I told you to take this example always. C is equal to 40 plus 0.8y. You should understand what is 40. 40 is autonomous consumption. 0.8 is that 80% of the additional income is spent. Y is the national income. How to derive the saving function? We are very well versed with y is equal to c plus s. S is equal to y minus c. This is nothing but pure maths. S is equal to y minus, we are substituting the value of equation of c here. I have already given you the equation of c earlier. You can see that autonomous c plus by. उसी चीज को मैंने यहाँ दोबारा लिख दिया, सब्स्टिट्यूट कर दिया. So y is equal to, मैंने ब्रैकेट्स खोल दिए, माइनस ऑटोनॉमस माइनस बी वाई, ऑटोनॉमस सी माइनस बी वाई. मैंने कुछ नहीं किया, ऑटोनॉमस सी को यहाँ ले आई हूँ, सो माइनस के साथ यहाँ ले आई हूँ, y को इस तरफ ले आई हूँ, प्लस वाई माइनस बी वाई. अगर इसको मैं कॉमन फैक्टर में करती हूँ तो s इज सेविंग माइनस ऑटोनॉमस. अगेन 40 वाला एग्जांपल ले लो. अगर तुम 40 रुपीज खर्च रहे हो जबकि तुम्हारी इनकम कुछ भी नहीं है तो तुम्हारी ये क्या है, ये डिस सेविंग्स है. तुम अपने पास सेविंग्स में से 40 रुपीज यूज कर रहे हो. 1 माइनस बी, ये मैंने ब्रैकेट कॉमन कर दिया, y बाहर निकालकर. 1 माइनस बी इज नथिंग बट MPS. व्हाट इज MPS? डेल्टा s अपॉन डेल्टा y. व्हाट इज द प्रोपोर्शन ऑफ additional income you are saving? Y is the national income. So it's very important children, तुम्हें ये दोनों equations आनी चाहिए. You should be able to write. ये बोर्ड का 3 नंबर का क्वेश्चन है. Derive a very important 6 marks question witnessed in 2020 board paper also. How do we derive the consumption saving curve from the consumption curve? इसको ये भी कहते हैं derivation of propensity to save from propensity to consume. deriving APS equal to 0 from APC equal to 1, कुछ भी आ सकता है तुम्हें, right? इसके लिए हम क्या करेंगे? We are going to have two diagrams very clear. I don't know if both the diagrams are clearly visible here or not. Yeah. Yes, now they are clearly visible. Now, just follow these diagrams the way I tell you, right? Now, if you see here, I have drawn the consumption curve, the consumption function. There is part A, that is consumption and income. This is your 45 degrees line which represents the income. This is your consumption line. ये हम कर चुके हैं, right? Now, ये point देख लो, ये break even है, यहाँ saving है, ये income है, ये saving curve है. The story is very simple. The story goes like this. As your income increases, दोनों तरफ देख लो, ऐसे देख लो या ऐसे देख लो. As your income increases, initially there is autonomous consumption here, C, right? 40. और यहाँ when there is autonomous consumption, there is this savings to the extent of -40. तो यही negative zone से start हो रहा है. As your income increases, consumption also increases. लेकिन यहाँ तक पहुँचते, that is 200 तक पहुँचते, your consumption is greater than income. जब तक तुम्हारी consumption is greater than income, your savings are going to be negative. क्योंकि वो negative है तो उनका जो intercept है वो below the below the x-axis है, ये negative zone में आ रहा है. ये जो shaded portion तुम देख रहे हो ये सारा dis savings है, मतलब all the savings which are negative. जैसे ही तुम्हारी income बढ़ती है and it is equal to consumption and you have reached break even point, here y is equal to c. When y is equal to c, your s is equal to 0. This is again a break-even point. Don't forget that. ये दोनों match करने चाहिए. As your income is increasing further, your consumption is also increasing, but your consumption is less than your income, because of which your savings are positive. Don't forget that saving is the vertical distance between income and consumption. मतलब it is the difference diagrammatically between the y and the. Children, I'm giving you some very important formulas. These are very important. This will give you a recapitulation of chapter 7 only. लेकिन अगर ये नहीं समझ आए तो अगले numericals and अगला chapter नहीं समझ आएगा. So y is equal to c plus s हम कर चुके हैं. APC का formula, APS का, APC के दो तरीके से निकाल सकते हो, APS, MPC, MPS. यहाँ तक तुम्हें समझ आ गया. C is equal to autonomous C plus by, S is equal to minus autonomous plus 1 minus by. यहाँ तक तुम्हें बहुत क्लियर है, मुझे भी पता है तुम्हें अच्छे से समझ आ गया. लेकिन ये पॉइंट में तुम्हें एक दे रही हूँ एडिशनल इन्फॉर्मेशन. किसी किसी न्यूमेरिकल में दिया होता है टू फाइंड एनी वन ऑफ द वेरिएबल्स. इट वुड बी गिवन हियर एट ब्रेक इवन. उस टाइम तुम कंफ्यूज हो जाते हो कि क्या करना है. एट ब्रेक इवन रिमेंबर C is equal to y. सो व्हाट यू विल डू, C की जगह y को सब्स्टिट्यूट करोगे. जब y को सब्स्टिट्यूट कर दिया तो आपको y दिया होगा, तो इनमें से दोनों में से कोई चीज ढूंढनी है. अदरवाइज तुम देख लो सम में अगर ऐसा कुछ दिया हुआ है तो एट ब्रेक इवन s is also equal to 0. So you can always substitute the saving equation as 0. Once you do this, whatever is the unknown factor, unknown variable to be found out can be assessed accordingly. Children, with this I have finished almost 3/4 of the chapter. The consumption function and the saving function is done. The next topic I'm going to pick up is the investment. So हमने पहले किया था AD is equal to C plus I. मैंने C complete कर दिया. Now we are going to do I in the next video. Children, since saving and consumption function is done, I expect you to continue to learn and mark your books from page number 7.12 according to my book. Right, continuing with 7.13, you will do this table. It's a very good and a very important table which helps you to understand how to solve the numericals. Then on page number 7.13 you have this table. It will help you to assess your true and false. I've done with you consumption function and saving function. I've shown you how to derive this, right? You must understand two things in consumption. There is something called autonomous consumption. There is something called induced consumption. Induced consumption वो होती है कि जब तुम्हारी इनकम चेंज होती है तुम कितनी कंजम्पशन चेंज करते हो. वो जो कंजम्पशन एक्सपेंडिचर होता है जब तुम्हारी इनकम बदल गई है, दैट इज कॉल्ड इंड्यूस्ड कंजम्पशन. ये तुम्हें मैंने एक्सप्लेन कर दिया, ये डेरिवेशन मैंने पूरे डिटेल में तुम्हें एक्सप्लेन कर दिया ऑन अ पर्टिकुलर पीस ऑफ पेपर, राइट? एक्सप्लेन. Today we are going to start with investment function. We are all very well aware with what is investment. Investment is nothing but the addition to the capital stock or creation of new capital assets, right? That is when you're starting a new plant, machinery, build, a business, you need to put in equipment, etc. There are two types of investments which take place in an economy. The two types of investments which take place in an economy are induced investment and autonomous investment. Now, what do you understand by induced investment? Induced investment means that investment which has to take place only when the income changes. It all depends upon the profit generated by the investment. It's directly linked to income. जैसे जैसे तुम्हारी इनकम बढ़ेगी, तुम इस किस्म की इन्वेस्टमेंट भी बढ़ाओगे. Why? Because you're expecting profit from that particular investment. This is normally done by the private sector because they are profit oriented. Their economic objective is to earn profits. If you see this diagram here, you have income on the x-axis, investment. Investment depends upon income. So you are ready to make an investment only when you are expecting an increase in income. Then you have autonomous investment. Autonomous, as I told you, the word goes, autonomous means that investment which is not affected by the change in income. It is not done with a profit motive. It is normally done within